Oh, did we start? Oh, and a very good, I was a little late here. A very good Friday morning, afternoon, evening, everyone. Joe Benigno back with you again, the Yoda Pain Podcast, Friday, September 19th, 2025. And of course, the Yoda Pain Podcast brought to you by the Hackensack Brewing Company, by Need a Discount Tire, and our latest sponsor. And that, of course, is the. I always get messed up doing this because I screwed up. Oh my God. Did I screw up? The South Carolina has it all. Our wonderful friends there. If you want the vacation in North Myrtle Beach. Outstanding. All right. I'm messing up here. Here it is. Here we go. Yes, it is. Carolina Resort Vacation. There we go. Let's get it right. All right. I'm going to start with this. We'll start with the Mets. Nice win yesterday. Beat the Padres 6-1. Jonah Tong bouncing back from that horrible effort against the Texas Rangers, where he didn't get out of the first inning, gave up 6 runs. Pitches 5 solid innings, allows just 1 unearned run. Strikes out 8, and the Mets win it 6-1 over San Diego. So they take 2 out of 3 in that series. Remain 2 games ahead of Arizona for the final playoff spot in the National League. 79-74 on the season, 9 games left to play. They got 3 this weekend, the final 3 home games against Washington. Then they go to Chicago for 3 with the Cubs, and then finish with the Marlins in Miami, which, of course, the Marlins who have knocked the Mets out of the playoffs before, as we all know, late in the season. But that's what's left. But that was a good win yesterday. Before I even get to the state of the Mets, here's the bottom line. 2 things the Mets have to do in the offseason, and that's sign Pete Alonso and sign Edwin Diaz. Both of them can opt out of their contracts. Both of them are. Number one, the Mets got to sign Alonso. I mean, they did it last year. It's not going to be so easy this year. There's going to be a lot of teams interested in him. He's had a tremendous year, and he's getting hot at the right time. He's now hit home runs in 4 consecutive games. He's got 37 homers, 121 RBIs. He's second in the major leagues, only to Schwarber as far as runs batted in. He's had a tremendous year. I mean, let's be honest about it. He's been the Mets' best hitter with runners in scoring position. And like I said, he's getting hot at the right time. Mets have to sign him. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. And if I'm Uncle Stevie Cohen, I am right now talking to Scott Boras about getting this done. That's it. Doing it now. You cannot let him get to free agency, because there's going to be teams that are going to be going after him and going to be ready to pay him, whether it's the Houston Astros, the Cincinnati Reds, the Yankees, God forbid. The Mets have to sign him. Pete Alonso is an all-time great Met. Maybe will go down as the greatest position player in the history of the franchise. He's already the all-time Met home run leader in the history of the franchise, surpassing Darryl Strawberry this year. And he keeps adding to that total as he goes. There is no gray area here. He's improved dramatically defensively. I know he's had some problems, throwing the ball to the pitcher on ground outs and stuff like that. There's been a few times when the pitcher has been at fault. But, he has had a tremendous season. Let's cut the chase. Another all-star season for Pete. It is time for Uncle Stevie to pay him and make him a Met for life. There is no other way to do it. That is the most important thing for this franchise going forward in the offseason, no matter how it plays out. No matter how it plays out, making the playoffs, not making the playoffs, Pete Alonso has got to be signed and become a Met for his entire career. No doubt about it. And eventually number 20 will be up in the rafters. Now, the other guy the Mets have to sign is Edwin Diaz, because he can opt out as well. And let's be honest, in a league where relief pitching is terrible, where 85 to 90% of relief pitchers in baseball stink, okay? 85 to 90% are guys who, hey, do you have confidence in you? I don't care what the team is. You can ask a fan of any team that they root for, okay, do you have confidence in your bullpen? And I guarantee the answer will be no in 90% of the cases, if not more. And I have no confidence in this Met bullpen at all. The only one I have any confidence in is Edwin Diaz. And if Edwin Diaz is not the best closer in baseball, he's on a very short list of those guys. So the Mets have to sign him too. The two big moves that Uncle Stevie has to make in the offseason is signing his two premier free agents, Alonso, number one, and Edwin Diaz, 1A. That has to be done. And in both cases, should be done before the season, before we even get to the free agent signing period, especially when it comes to Alonso. Those are the two top priority. I know the Mets have to fix the rotation. I understand it. But and of course the three young pitchers are, making that a lot easier. But the Mets have got to sign those two guys in the offseason. And if I was Uncle Stevie, I'd get it done long before we get to free agency, when you get to that period where, teams can sign their own free agents. So that's got to be done. Top priority, no question about it, no matter how this season plays out for the Mets. And like I said, they got 9 games left. They really need to sweep the Washington Nationals this weekend. Now, remember, the last time they played them a couple of weeks ago in Washington, they lost 2 out of 3. That can't happen this time. Brandon Sproul pitching tonight. I guess the kid McClain is pitching Saturday. And then I'm not sure. I guess it's the piggyback on Sunday with Holmes and Manaea. And right now, if the Mets do make the playoffs, and right now they would make it, and they would play the LA Dodgers in LA for 3 games, 2 out of 3, which certainly is a daunting task, to say the least. To me, the 3 people that are starting those games are McClain, Sproat, and the piggyback, as they say, of Holmes and Manaea. That's what I'm looking at right now. I don't know if I'd have Tong start one of the playoff games. Now, we'll see him pitch again probably one more time before it's all over next week, probably in Chicago against the Cubs. He'll make his last start of the year. But you got to like the bounce back he had yesterday. Tremendous job by him and a terrific win. The home run by Alonso. Brandon Nimmo hit a big 3-run home run in the game. Soto got his 100th RBI of the year. We're still waiting for Soto to give the Mets that signature moment. He almost got it the other night with a 3-run home run in that game that they lost to San Diego, but we're still waiting for that signature moment from Soto. And the Mets are starting to hit. They've had 12 home runs in their last 4 games. Like I said, Alonso's hit a home run in each of those last 4. They are, Pete, certainly starting to get hot absolutely when they need them. There's no doubt about it. So need to sweep Washington going forward this weekend, and then we'll see what happens next week in Chicago and in Miami. But if they can sweep Washington this weekend, you'll feel pretty good going into the last 6 games of the season. No matter what Arizona, Cincinnati, and the Giants do, we will feel pretty good going into the last week of the regular season as far as the Mets making the playoffs. The Diamondbacks didn't play yesterday, so the Mets stayed 2 games ahead of them. Cincinnati won their game against the Cubs, and the Giants lost to the Dodgers. So that's where we are going forward, as Brandon Sproat will take the mound tonight against the Nationals in the final series of the year at Citi Field, and really could be the final 3 games of the year at Citi Field. Even if the Mets do make the playoffs, if they don't get out of the Dodgers series, then they will not come back to Citi Field this year. So last 3 games of the regular season, and we can only hope that the Mets will see Citi Field again after this weekend this year. We will see how that all plays out. But good job taking 2 out of 3 from the Padres, and need to sweep Washington this weekend. But the number one priority for the New York Mets going forward, as far as I'm concerned, signing Alonso, signing Diaz. Those are the 2 big number 1 and 1A moves that Uncle Stevie Cohen has to make this offseason. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Okay, let's move on to the football. Interesting weekend for the 2 local teams. The Jets, of course, in Tampa to play the undefeated 2-0 Tampa Bay Bucks, coming off that come-from-behind win over Houston on Monday night. And the 0-2 Giants, they will host the 0-2 Kansas City Chiefs on Sunday night at the Meadowlands. It is the first time since 2011, when Patrick Mahomes was still playing for the Texas Tech Raiders. That is the last time that the Kansas City Chiefs started the season 0-2. So very tough spot for the Giants, even though they come off that brutal loss, putting up 38 points in that overtime loss to the Cowboys on Sunday. Jets, I mean, I don't know what to say. Tyrod Taylor will make the start with Justin Fields in concussion protocol. I actually feel better about this game with Taylor starting. I got to really tell you. Jets are getting 7 in this game. I actually feel pretty good about them, getting the points here. Maybe you catch Tampa Bay in a little bit of a letdown starting 2-0. How about the fact that the Tampa Bay Bucks have started each of the last 5 years 2-0? Now, remember, going back to 5 years ago when they won the Super Bowl in 2020, Tom Brady was the quarterback. And now Mayfield, who is done. And what a joke that the Jets didn't sign Mayfield. I screamed about that when the Jets had a chance to sign him, when he was a free agent after the LA Rams let him go at the end of that season a couple of years ago. I screamed about it. I said, you got to sign this guy. This guy's he plays with as big a set of balls as anybody in the NFL. You saw it on Monday night against against the Texans on a 4th and 10 play with them trailing in the game. And what was it, 19-13? And you saw Mayfield run for a first down on a 4th and 10 where he actually kind of tried to hurdle a guy as he got the first down and got spun around. And he got the crap beat out of him in that game by Houston, by Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson. And he still kept bouncing back. He is a tough guy. And he is, like I said, he's got as big a set of balls as any quarterback in the NFL. And what a mistake. Not only the Jets, but all the other teams that didn't sign him. And probably the team that made the biggest mistake was the Cleveland Browns for letting him go. Which is another reason that Cleveland continues to waller in that same, whatever you want to call it, into that same area of vomit that the Jets are. You know what I mean? I don't know how else to say it, But Baker Mayfield this weekend, like I said, I do feel better about the Jets with Taylor playing. I want to see them open it up a little bit with the offense. Got to run the ball. And one thing about Justin Fields, Justin Fields can be effective as long as the Jets are running the ball effectively. When they're not running it effectively, like they weren't last week against the Bills, then forget about it. Justin Fields is not going to be effective, and he certainly wasn't in that Buffalo game. And now we're going to see Tyrod Taylor this week with Fields in the concussion protocol. And I know Jermaine Johnson is banged up. The defense has got to play better. They stink right now, especially the Jets secondary. But the Bills ran the ball all over them last week, over 200 yards rushing. A lot of that is Josh Allen, but also, James Cook with that run where about 5 different guys missed him, and he took it to the house for about a 60-yard touchdown run. That's the kind of stuff you can't see. So we'll see what happens. There is a very good chance that the New York Jets will be 0-3 going into their Monday night showdown against the also 0-3 Miami Dolphins, who lost last night to Buffalo 31-21. Miami's 0-3, and it's a good chance the Jets are going to be 0-3. And, boy, that's going to be a rip-roar. I can see Buck and Aikman, man, they're going to be thrilled having that Monday night game next week with the Dolphins and the Jets. The one good thing about that game is it's an early start. There's a doubleheader that night. I forget who Denver's playing in the second game. But, the Jets actually will start that Monday night game at 7 o'clock. That is the best thing about this year with the Jets. And I've said this repeatedly, being as bad as they've been over the years is all these early starting games. All these 1 o'clock games, 14 of their 17 games this year are 1 o'clock starts. They got the 9:30 start coming up in a couple of weeks in London against Denver. 9:30 a.m. You got to love that start. Only 2 night games. This Monday night game coming up against Miami next week, and then later in the season in November, a Thursday night, because everybody's got to play Thursday night. Thursday night game in New England against the Patriots. That's it. Everything else is 1 o'clock or the 9:30 start in London. So, and then a 7 o'clock start on a Monday night game that normally starts at 8:20. So you got to love that. And that is the best thing about the Jets season. I mean, there's no doubt about it. In what looks to be another big-time losing year. And I was not, I'll tell you right, I said it. You heard me say it last week. My biggest disappointment last week was not losing to Buffalo, even though they got their rear end handed to them, and didn't show up for the game. It was the horrific performance by the head coach and the coaching staff. That was the biggest issue. Not kicking a field goal when you're down 20-0 with a 4th and 3 on their 25-yard line, right? What are you doing? Not going for, punting with a 4th and 1 on your own 20-something late in the game. I mean, what are you doing punting? I mean, the game's over already. Can you go for it on 4th and 1? Nah, why would you do that? Not having the team ready to play. I hated what I heard Glenn say after the game. We said, apparently I didn't have the team ready to play. What do you mean apparently? You didn't. Just say, we didn't have them ready to play. Don't give me apparently. It was very apparent. Every damn Jet fan in the place saw it was goddamn apparent that you didn't have the team ready to play. So give me a break. Makes me crazy. It really does. Unbelievable. And as far as the Giants go this week against Kansas City, look, I know there's a lot of people out there. The Giants are getting what? 5.5. It's either 5.5, 6, 6.5, whatever they're getting. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that game. I don't like what I've seen from the. Remember the 2 games the Chiefs lost. They lost to San Diego, LA Chargers, who were 2-0 down in freaking Brazil. Why they played a game there, we don't know. But they, of course, Beijing any day now for Roger Goodell. And then they lost to the Eagles in a game they should have won. I mean, Travis Kelce dropped the pass that hit him right in the hands on a goal line. The ball bounced out of his hand with the Chiefs poised to take the lead in that game and was intercepted by Philadelphia, and that really was the big play of the game. Look, let's be honest. Let's tell it like it is. Travis Kelce, he's so freaking whipped, it's unbelievable. And, maybe he would have caught the ball if he wasn't going out with Tay-Tay, but his head's so far up her rear end that he's going to eventually have to get it surgically removed, whenever the divorce happens, which will happen. So, but whatever. But I just remember this, and I say this, caution anybody that's ready to bet the Giants on Sunday night, okay? Because I could see it going either way, but I caution this. Just remember who the quarterback is for Kansas City. We kind of forget. Everybody loves to go, oh, Josh Allen, he's the new guy, or Lamar Jackson, he's the new guy, right? Or whatever. No. Still, the king is still Patrick Mahomes, okay? The king is still number 15 in Kansas City. Guy that's won 3 Super Bowls and been to 5 in his I don't even think he's 30 years old yet, okay? He's already established, if he never plays again, he's a walk into Canton, and he's already established himself as one of the great quarterbacks of all time. So, beware taking the points with the Giants on Sunday night. I'll give you a couple more of my picks coming up in a minute. I'm having a very difficult morning stomach-wise, and it's starting to happen again. So I apologize if there's a little letdown here in the show. But let's get to the sponsors. The Hackensack Brewing Company, we'll let you know. I don't know when. We have no clue whether we'll even do another one this year, a live podcast at the Brewing Company. We'll let you know when that happens. But right now, there's no plans for it, but we will let you know when the next one is. Now, if you need work done on your car, you know where you got to go. You got to go to Anita Discount Tire. You need tires, whatever you need. My son Johnny, his great boss Ari, one of the top mechanics in the state, Rob, they will all take care of you. Again, work done on your car, tires, need your car inspected, whatever you need, the place to go. Anita Discount Tire, Westwood Avenue in beautiful Rivervale, New Jersey. Check it out. Tell them Benigno sent you. They will get the job done for you. And, of course, our latest sponsor, and I screwed it up in the beginning of the actual name of it, Carolina Resort Vacation. My kids were down there in August. They loved it, thought it was absolutely great. So you got to check it out. Plan your next getaway at North Myrtle Beach. If you're looking for a perfect vacation spot, check out Carolina Resort Vacations, OBLV Unit 2 in beautiful North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. The place has it all. What makes it special, 5 spacious bedrooms, each with a private en suite, hello convenience, a fully stocked kitchen ready for family meals or group cooking nights, arcade-style gaming table with 150-plus classic games, smart TVs in every room, entertainment for everyone, steps from the beach, minutes from the Barefoot Landing, the mini golf, Ripley's Aquarium, Myrtle Beach Boardwalk, and all the great golf courses that are down there. This unit is freshly renovated, spotless and spacious, perfect for all your family trips, group getaways, or relaxing retreat by the ocean. So this unit, again, whether you're soaking up the sun, exploring local attractions, or just enjoying time together, OBLV. Unit 2, Carolina Resort Vacation makes every trip unforgettable. North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, you got the whole deal. Call 843-249-6509. Visit CarolinaResortRealty.com to learn more. Start planning your trip today. Again, 843-249-6509. Tell them Benigno and the entire family recommends you go down there. All right, let's get a couple as I bend down here. Oh, the pain. Here we go. Oh, man. Sitting on this chair, my rear end, man, it hurts.
God.
I think it's from sitting on a freaking bowl all the time. It's terrible. That's what happens. You don't want to get old. Next week's my birthday, by the way, if anybody cares. You can send, I know nobody does, but you can send any gifts you like. You know, people that know my address, I'm not giving it out. You know, you know where I am. Whatever presents you like to send, anything that's Met or Jet related, of course, is all very, very acceptable. You can do any of that. Any kind of golf stuff that you like to send me, we're good with that. You know, so there you go. So I'm very easy to buy for, as I tell my wife all the time. I did tell her no more golf stuff, though. I mean, I got so many. I have so many golf shirts that I could not, as much golf as I play, I could not wear every shirt. You know, if I were, I'd still have shirts left over that I wouldn't wear. So that's how much stuff I have like that. I got hats, I got shirts, you know, I got it all. So we don't need, I got plenty of balls, got balls. I lost my, you know what I love to play? I love to play, have you seen it? I think only Shrixon makes them. The half white and half yellow balls. I love those. They're very expensive. They're almost $50 a box, you know. And I lost my last one that I had. My wife had actually bought me a box of those for Father's Day. And, you know, I was reluctant to play them all, but I've been confident. I've been playing good yesterday, lately. And I lost my last one the other day. I forget what it was. Maybe, was it a Paramus the other day? Where did we play Wednesday? Where did we play Wednesday? Paramus, right? Is that where we were? Where did we play Monday? No, we were at Soldier Hill. That's where we played. Hill. Yeah. I lost it there. That was my last ball I lost was at Soldier Hill. I had one. So, because usually I play with yellow balls, unless I play with people that are playing with yellow balls, then I'll play with white ones, you know. But those are great. I love those. But they're expensive. They're like $50 a box. And only Shrixon makes them, the Shrixon half and half ball. And forget these, you know, they're the only ball that you can play. Well, there's two balls of color that you can play that are not non-white balls. You can play yellow. My wife's been playing the green Callaway, right?
Callaway.
The green Callaway, light lime green. Those are the only two balls of color that you can actually see. You can't play red balls. You can't play blue balls. I remember I had them when I was a kid. You can't play those, all right? You can't play like a half yellow or half orange ball. You can't do that because you're not going to find them. You can't see them. So the only ones that aren't white that you should be playing are either full yellow or the half yellow and white ball or the lime green. Everything else you can't see. I'm just giving a tip out there for people that like to play these multi-color. You can't see the damn ball.
Especially when the leaves start falling,
right.
You're never going to see them.
That's right. When the leaves start, you probably got to go white all the time. Yeah. So they haven't quite started. How good has the weather been here, by the way? It's unbelievable. Another beautiful day today. Yeah, I say this all the time. The best weather in the New York metropolitan area now, it really is from July through October. That's the best weather we have. You know, May is rainy. You know, May is always a rainy month. June has become a very rainy month. It's all about July through October. And the weather this month has been off the charts. I mean, you know, come on. But getting back to my birthday next week, okay? Next Friday is my birthday. I'm going to be a very 70, rip-roaring 70 freaking 2-year-old, okay? As the numbers just continue to ascend, you know, to get bigger and bigger and bigger. As I get older and older and older, and I start slipping more and more into darkness, right?
God.
Slipping into darkness, right? Or as Frank once said, you know, I'm in the autumn of the year. And that's where I am. I am in the autumn of the year, okay? And let me tell you right now, it's late November. Okay. All right. I'm in the autumn of the year, and it's late. We're after Thanksgiving already. Just want to let you know that. That's where I'm at. Okay. So I'll let you know. But anyway, all gifts can be accepted next week. So as I move on. So I got one more podcast Monday before, at the young 71 age that I'm at right now. Anyway, let's move on. Nobody gives a damn. Okay. Let me get a couple picks in here. I mentioned already before we go. I like the Jets getting the 7 against the Bucks. Call me crazy. Call me whatever you want. I just think they're going to be better, play better with Tyrod Taylor. I'm sure the defense is not going to play well. Secondary is just horrible. But, we'll see what happens. I think the Jets will put points on the board, though. I really do. Remember one thing about the Bucks: 3 of their top offensive linemen are out. Tristan Wirfs, who's one of the best offensive linemen in the game, a guy the Jets probably should have drafted instead of Mekhi Becton. Okay. Although he's, now he's got a Super Bowl ring with the Eagles. Don't get me going. So they got 3 guys banged up on the offensive line. We'll see if that helps the Jets or not. But I expect the Jets to put some points up on the board here with Tyrod Taylor against Tampa. So give me the Jets +7 on Sunday against Tampa Bay, game 1. Game 2, I'm taking the Lions, getting 5.5 on Monday night, that is, against the Ravens in Baltimore. The Ravens come off that beatdown. They blew out the Browns 41-17 last week. The Lions are coming off a game where they equally blew out the Bears. They put 52 on the Bears in that game after they lost their season opener. Detroit lost their season opener. I forget who they opened the season with, but they lost. I will say right now, I will take the Lions +5.5 in what I think is going to be a very high-scoring game. I think the Lions are off the snide. I think they got something to prove. You're getting a big number with 5.5. And you know how Baltimore is. Baltimore, we saw what they did when they folded like a 10 against Buffalo in the week 1 opener. So, I fully expect that's going to be a high-scoring, close game. Give me the Lions, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them win it outright. Give me the Lions +5.5 on Monday night in Baltimore against the Ravens. And I'm taking the Colts laying 4.5, laying 4.5, -4.5. Let me get it right. In Tennessee against the 0-2 Titans. How about the Colts? How about Daniel Jones? Daniel Jones right now has his team at 2-0. Do you realize that the Colts have not even punted once yet this year? How about that in their 2 wins so far this year? Not one freaking punt. You got to be kidding me. Jones has been unbelievable. It's amazing. I always thought Jones had an upside. And the Giants, look, he had to get out of New York with the Giants. Giants couldn't wait to get rid of him. The kid got the crap beat out of him for how many years with that crummy offensive line. Did take him to the playoffs that one year, won that playoff game against Minnesota in the rookie year for the coach for Brian Dable. So, but we'll see. He's been a revelation so far for Sean Steichen and Indianapolis. So I like him. Tennessee gives me no reason to like them at all. They got whacked at home last week by the Rams. Give me the Colts laying 4.5 in Tennessee against Cam Ward and the Titans. So I like the Jets getting 7 in Tampa. I like the Lions getting 5.5 Monday night in Baltimore. And I like the Colts laying 4.5 in Tennessee against the Titans. So those are Benigno picks for, if you care, for week 3 in the NFL. Not exactly a great college football week. I guess the big game is the Oklahoma-Auburn on Saturday night, SEC game in Norman. I guess that's the big game. Not much out there. Notre Dame, Purdue, that doesn't do it for me. What's the other? Michigan, Nebraska, that doesn't do it for me. Tonight, you got the undefeated 3-0 Scarlet Knights of Rutgers, who so far have played the Little Sisters of the Poor ×3 to be 3-0. They're at home tonight against Kirk Ferentz's Iowa Hawkeyes. So that's an interesting game. I think Iowa is a 3.5-point favorite. So if you're not into the baseball tonight, I'll be locked into the Met game, but I'll be bouncing out to take a look at what's going on for the Scarlet Knights. So they open the Big Ten season, actually play a real opponent tonight. They play Iowa tonight. I guess that game's on ESPN. It's either on ESPN or the Big Ten Network. I'm not sure.
Want me to look?
You can look. You want to check it out? Yeah, what is that Rutgers game on? It's one or the other. And give me the start. What time's the start? 8 o'clock for that game tonight? What time is that game? Rutgers, Iowa tonight. My wife is looking
Big
it
10,
up.
right?
Yeah, my wife is looking it up.
Hold on.
She says, hold on. She's checking it out. Here we go.
Big 10. Oh.
Terry's checking it out we silent here for a second. Still looking. So you got Iowa and Rutgers tonight. That's actually got some interest to it locally because it is Rutgers and it is a real Big Ten opponent. Can't find it? Don't worry, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. They're not showing it time.
No.
It should be on Big Ten. I don't know why. It's not showing the games this weekend in the Big Ten. Don't worry about it. Rutgers, Iowa tonight. You'll find it somewhere.
Yeah.
It's either on ESPN or on the Big Ten Network. Probably one of those two.
I don't know why they're not showing.
I wouldn't worry about it.
All right.
And the game probably starts 8:00. But Iowa, Rutgers tonight in Piscataway, if you are so inclined. All right, everybody, enjoy your weekend. Check me out tomorrow in my riveting 2-hour 5 to 7 show on WFAN. It's over before it starts, that show. The only negative is I got to get up 4 o'clock in the morning for it, but at least I don't have to go there. Everybody have a great weekend. The weather's going to be really good again. Enjoy all the football. Enjoy the baseball. If you're a Yankee fan, they are basically all but punched their ticket to the playoffs. Shut out behind Max Fried last night. Shut out the crummy Orioles. So they'll play Baltimore. They got Baltimore, the White Sox, and Baltimore again to wrap the season up. Pretty good for the Yankees. We know we'll see the Yankees in October. Again, everybody have a great weekend. God bless America. All the love, everybody. And we'll talk to you on Monday.